Hello, everyone. Welcome back to work through this wait, what moment with me. And I first wanted to say I am thankful, grateful, humbled, and honored that you have come back or shown up for the first time. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I started recording this video and my dog went crazy because the Amazon guy came to drop a package off, which I'm embarrassed to say I do order from Amazon. But so I already had this affirmation card pulled, so I'm going to just use the same one. It's right here. It says, "You are doing your best, and that is enough." So today I wanted to talk about how, like, not just in the political arena, but people like to show polls like, oh, Americans, 90% of Americans like this, or whatever the statistic is. And it doesn't really matter if it's from a reputable source or not. And I'll get into why the reputable source matters in just a minute. But I first wanted to talk about how peer pressure happens a lot. And that is why they want you to, certain people want you to believe that they're leading. Because if you're undecided, or sometimes even if you are decided and it's not going with the crowd, some people will change their mind and go with the answer that is not what they believe. And by demonstration, I'm going to talk about my high school psychology class with Mr. Frankel way back in the day. So he did kind of a little side experiment to demonstrate whatever we were learning right then. So basically he sent a kid to the office for some random reason. And while they were gone, he had a talk with the rest of the class, and that you were supposed to raise your hand for the wrong answer. So he had several questions up on the board with like 2 different answers. And they were really simple questions and not even psychology related, which would the reason I remember the first question, because I was like, this one is so far off psychology, I don't even understand how anybody could believe it had anything to do with psychology. It was 2 plus 2, and answer A was 4, which is obviously the correct answer, and answer B was 5. So when she got back from the office, he went over the question, and of course she quickly raised her hand for A. And then the rest of the class raised their hand and answered for B. And everybody, like, you could just hear that the whole class, like, you could hear everybody raising their hand for something else, because it was kind of like in sync. I don't know how to explain it. So she did look around and she was kind of like, I could see the confusion on her face, mostly because she sat right in front of me, and so when she turned around, I could see it. But and as it kept going on, she eventually didn't raise her hand until the rest of the class raised all their hands. And so she was answering the wrong answer because she wanted to not be singled out. So that's the reason why some people are always touting I'm up in the polls. I'm up in the polls. And you don't even know what poll he's talking about. Like sometimes it can be a poll amongst one group of people, but they try to portray it as it's of the American people. Well, we did this poll at my rally and I'm leading it. Okay, the people that paid to come to your rally voted you their number one choice? Shocking. Wait, what? How does that make sense? Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. So, obviously, the people that paid money spent their time traveling there or a whole day to come and see the man is going to win the poll. But they also try and make it seem like it wasn't just the people at the rally. Tried to make it seem like they did a national poll and he's winning nationally. Now, that doesn't happen every time. I can give you several other examples. Like I've gotten polls sent to the house and I don't fill them out because I know, okay, they do the poll because they do like the information that they get back. They can use it if it's the correct information. Like if they get an answer and a statistic that they like, they will spread it all over. If they don't, they will just pretend like it never happened. But they also are asking for donations. And I'm not donating to your political party. Anybody. Not to your campaign. Like, so I don't even waste my time filling them out. But I did get one in the mail. And I was like, how skewed is this? So what happened, it was 3 answers, okay? Usually when there's like 3, it's kind of like above average, average, or below average. Or sometimes it's like good, neutral, or bad. Like that's a normal poll. Okay, so this one was, the top answer was below average. The next one was like very bad. And then the next one was horrible. Okay. So I remembered that because I was like, this is so skewed. Like there's not even a neutral answer on here, or like not applicable. Like I don't even want to answer this question because I have no opinion on it. Like that wasn't an option. So it was like 2 months later and I heard on the news that it was like 86% of people think that this person is doing a below average job. Well, if you didn't get the poll to know that that was the top answer, so 86% of the people chose the top answer. And they had no other answer to choose that was higher than that. So in theory, they could have been saying, I think he's doing a good job and this is the best option there is. Now, I admit that probably not 86% of people thought that, but you don't know that. And that's what I mean by reputable polls. You have to know the questions that they ask, the population they sent it to, and the answers available for the people to answer. And if you don't have a reputable poll, and then you hear that, And like I demonstrated before, other people don't like to be singled out. And if they don't feel like they're in the group consensus, they might even change their mind. So this is how people are persuading you to change your mind if you're not consciously aware of what's going on. So you have to always dig a little deeper. Sometimes people think I dig a little too much. They're like, what are you, the police? Because I ask questions, but no, I just don't like to be manipulated or led astray. Like, I really try to make sure that when I say something, just in general, when I talk to people, I'm like, this is a fact and this is my opinion. Because I don't want them to confuse. For example, I remember I worked at Starbucks for a while and I was taking, I don't know, maybe it was like a nutrition class or something at the time. And Starbucks had just come out with their whey protein shakes, okay? And so I knew that whey protein was the cheapest. And that is what I said to my manager. I said, whey protein is the cheapest protein there is. And he kind of made some other assumptions on that fact, kind of like it was harder to digest and all of this. And so later on, he came back to me and he was like, whey protein's the easiest to digest. And I was like, but I didn't mean to ever imply, and I definitely didn't say that whey protein was hard to digest because it was cheap. Like, that is not what I said at all. So, to wrap this up, my analogies from my high school and my job, you have to be careful and you have to critically think and dig a little deeper before you just say, because everybody wants to win. So before you're just like, oh, the poll says that most of the people like him, I might as well vote for him. You need to like look a little deeper if that's going to be your reasoning, and know that most likely they're trying to manipulate you. So that's what I have for today. But remember, you are doing your best, and that is enough. Thanks, everybody. Come see me again. Bye.